Hello, welcome everybody. It's nice to be back. For those of you that don't know, I was away in Madagascar for about a month volunteering, doing marine conservation and scuba diving.
Wow.
I did not have much time for formal meditation while I was there. Oop. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. I did not have much time for formal meditation while I was there. I was sharing a hut that was 12 by 12 feet with 6 bunk beds, and it was quite challenging at times. We were on a camp with 50 to 70 different individuals. But what I did do a lot of while I was there was informal day to day with what was happening in this new environment, which is much easier than having a beginner's mind in our standard routine. I was on an island. I was with people I'd never met before. I was doing activities I had never done before. So everything in general was new. So the beginner's mind in that situation is much easier. You still can fall into traps, right? Maybe comparing, contrasting, judging for sure. But all in all, the informal meditation practice was very useful while I was away, since, like I mentioned, the formal meditation was a little more difficult for me. So it's good to be back. I missed running these sessions. I was thinking I would try to run a session from there, but with the time difference, that would have been 10:30 in the evening, and we usually went to bed because there wasn't electricity. So sun sets around 5:30. People were generally in bed around 7:30 or 8:30, and we were up for breakfast at 5:30. So that didn't work out. But anyways, let's get started here today. Enough about my Madagascar trip. I'm sure there'll be more to come about that when I actually process. I just got back Monday evening around 8 p.m. So still very new, getting adjusted back to life here in the States in San Francisco and on this time zone. So let's check in. Let's do a little bit of a grounding exercise. For those of you that have tuned, pick that. If not, you can follow me. I'm going to do the one with the right hand on the forehead, the left hand on the back, where the skull and the neck meet. And you can close your eyes if you're comfortable. If not, having a soft gaze. And these are scientifically shown to be vascular points that help calm the central nervous system. Sensing into the hands on your head and your neck. Seeing if you're holding any tension in your shoulders, your hand, arm, elbow. Seeing if you can rest the hands lightly on the forehead and the back of the neck. Breaths, helping bring us to this present moment here and now. Letting go of where we were before, physically or mentally, and where we may have to be physically later. And then bringing the hands to rest. And if you had your eyes closed, you can go with that. Or maybe you're feeling a little sleepy this afternoon. Maybe you had lunch. You're a little tired. Maybe having the eyes open with a soft gaze in front of you would be better for you. Or maybe also sometimes with the eyes open, it can help us practice tuning in with the eyes open It's up to you, whatever you want your practice to be today. And sensing into the feet. You can be standing, lying down, or seated, whichever is most comfortable for you. And really noticing the feet. Noticing the toes and the space between the toes. And your feet spatially. Are they parallel to one another? At an angle? Directly below the knees? Maybe you want to adjust the position of the feet in space. Maybe there's a position that would suit you better today. And moving into that position with thought, care, and tenderness. Taking the time to be slow and no need to rush and jerk and force. Things to consider. The ankles, the lower legs. Are there sensations in this part of the body? Maybe depending on our clothing, there's a temperature difference. For example, I have pants on without any socks, so my ankles and the lower part of my leg I notice are cooler than the upper part of my leg. What difference in sensations do you notice in the lower part of your legs? Moving up to the knees. Sensing into the complex joint of the knee. Maybe we've had surgeries on our knee or an injury to the knee. Maybe there's added or missing parts in the knee. Maybe it's possible to bring awareness to these differences in the knee. Maybe if we do have challenges with our body when we're focusing on that region, we may have thoughts or emotions that arise about that body part or about something completely different. Maybe the mind's off to something else. Not dismissing those emotions or feelings, not ignoring them, but noticing them. Noticing where the mind went, where the heart went. And acknowledging that. And then coming back to the body part. If we're distracted and not sure what body part I'm on, can just bring awareness to the breath, the body breathing. Moving up to the thighs. What do we notice with the thighs? Maybe our hands are resting on the thighs. Maybe a part is resting against a chair or the floor. And we notice that different sensation where it's in contact with something else. Or maybe even moving into the hips. Another complex joint. When it's not working properly or ideally, we may notice it regularly. Whereas if everything's fine, we may not even pay any attention to it. Seeing if we can bring awareness into the hip, the ball and socket. Is there a pain, a spaciousness? Temperature difference? There's no right or wrong answer for the body sensation we're feeling at any moment. Keying into what's happening. If there's no sensation, that's the sensation. And are we okay with that? Or do we want something more? Area. And moving up to the back. The lower, middle, and upper back. Sometimes the lower part of the back can be problematic. Can you still bring awareness and appreciate the lower back if there are issues? Can you thank the body part for doing the best it can? Sometimes we're thankful for the things that work, not for others. Can we be thankful for all that we have, the good and the bad, positive and negative? Those distinctions, what do they mean? Things may seem absolute sometimes by the terminology we use. But there may be gray areas, or things that are considered good or bad, may be the opposite. Sensing into the whole back. Letting go of the back and now moving into the pelvic region, where we have the organs of reproduction and elimination. What do we notice here? Belly. What's happening in the belly? Maybe the belly's hungry. Maybe it's full. Is it relaxed? Are we holding it in? Moving up to the front part of the torso, the ribs, the chest. Maybe we can feel the heartbeat, the lungs or ribs expanding and contracting. What are we noticing here? And again, are we on the body part or did we get pulled away? If we did get pulled away, that's okay. Mindfulness is being aware of where we are in the moment. And if we've noticed we're not necessarily concentrating on the body part, where are we? Acknowledging that. Seeing if we can do it without judgment. And then coming back to the body part. Now what about the shoulders? What's happening in the shoulders? The upper arms, the elbow, the lower. Maybe there's temperature differences again based on the clothing we have on. Maybe one side feels tighter or looser than the other. Maybe again based on where our hands are resting, there's a different sensation for parts that are touching something else versus not. Moving up to the neck. Do we have sensations in the neck? Maybe checking a slight tuck of the chin would be a better position for the neck. Allowing it to support the weight of the head. Everyone's bodies are different. Maybe that cue doesn't work for you or isn't right. Paying attention and honoring your body for its differences. moving up to the head, the chin, the jaw, the teeth apart or clenched together. Where's checking in with the lips. Moving up to the ears. Do we notice the sound coming into them? Can we pinpoint how far the sound travels into the ear? The cheekbones, the eyeballs and eye sockets. The temple and eyebrows, and the forehead. Is this area of the head relaxed? Maybe we're in thought about something else and it's crinkled. And the top of the head. And the back of the head. Are there temperature differences between the two? Now bringing the awareness to the whole head. Feeling the whole head supported by the neck. Or maybe the ground, depending on your position. And slowly adding the whole body, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the torso, the hips, the legs, the feet. Noticing the whole body from head to toe. This is you here now. Are you okay with your whole body here now, taking up the space that it is? Owning is you here today, now, in all of your glory, your perfections and imperfections. Maybe, if possible, thanking the body for all that it does for you or try. Now letting go of the body and coming to the breath in the body. Just noticing the breath in the body for a few cycles of breathing. And then when ready, if you had your eyes closed, slowly opening them, maybe wiggling your fingers, your shoulders, your legs, your feet. Helping come back to this present moment. Well, thank you all for joining me today. It's nice to be back, and I will see you next week. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. I'm available. For those of you at work, my work email. Others, you can message me. Okay. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.